All right, folks, so we are going to continue making our paper dolls, a little bit more complex things here, work on some more shape building things. And we're going to use our same setup. And we are going to actually do a Mariah Elizabeth person my daughter watches, called Georgie. So we will copy this image and we will edit and paste it in there. And we are going to start out by locking that base layer there, putting the layer on top of it. We're going to name it outline. And we are going to do the whole outline using our pen tool. Holding down Alt and scrolling in. Holding down space bar. Grab that in hand. I am not going to be tracing this. I'll be using Tool to do that. So we're going to go through and start making it the best we can. There's going to be a weird little lump there, and they will probably put that in somehow. Remember, hold down Alt to get those different spaces there. Make sure to turn your fill color off and have your stroke color on. I like to have a stroke color that kind of looks a little bit different, so when I'm coloring, I can see how I'm doing here. Nice line there, bend it around. If you want smooth transitions, you need your handles to be lined up with each other the best you can to give a smoother transition. And I'm really not happy with how that's showing up right now, the way it is. I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning here. It's okay to start over if you don't like something. Have that fill color turned off. Bump it up into place, and I'm going to go around this way first just because it's an easier bit there. And I'm going to stay on the outside here. And you start bending stuff. There we go. This one, bend this out just a little bit. There's just a little bit of a bend in it. Zoom in, zoom's your friend. Remember, I'm doing all that zooming, holding the Alt key, and scrolling. Hold down Alt, do these bends in there. Bend it around. And go from here. And we're just going around, clicking, dragging, and then we're holding down Alt to get these to bend so nice. Grabbing the handles. You could use different tools to do this, but I like the way that I do it, holding the Alt button. Going to get that smooth transition here. I think I can make this in one bend here. That's pretty good there. That'll lock it back on. It got unsnapped. We've done this a little bit there. And we can make this bend to this point. And this is where I had that little problem a second ago. But I think I should be able to get to right here, bend that up, bend that down. I don't know. I should be able to. Maybe I'll find out in a second. Pull that way and then pull this in. See that weird little lump there. Put our anchor on there. This is kind of a flat spot when you zoom in this close. What isn't a flat spot when you zoom in this close, right? Bend there, and we'll see if we can connect this so it looks correct. Pull this one here like that, and pull this one here like this. So a weird little transition. I don't like this transition point right there. I want to make these two line up with each other a little bit better. Smooth out that point there a little bit, stretch it a little bit. There we go. That's the hardest part of the whole thing, I think. There we go. So there's our outline. And now we're gonna make a copy of it by pulling into the plus sign, lock this, and then we're gonna use this for everything else we make. After doing so much work in the outline, I hate to lose it. So that's why I always like to lock it. Like I said, we have a new copy right here. We use our pen tool. And we'll start making toes. And depending on how detailed you want to get, you can do the toes a little differently or whatever, but it's just how I'm doing it. There we go. So that I'm gonna unhook that. I'm gonna hit V and then P. Get back to my pen tool. And I'm gonna eyeball on where I think these kind of come in. I'm gonna outline this in Sharpie for these different colored outlines and stuff like that. I'm making it out of construction paper, so I'm not going to do multiple colored pieces of construction paper for lines that are this thin, so I apologize. People don't like that. There's a toe, VP. Its arms are there, so we can do this one up here. Snap it on there, over here, bend it out. This one, bend it out. And it looked pretty good. So now you'll see in a second why I copied and locked this layer. So I'm going to highlight this right here. Everything's highlighted. I'm going to take my shape builder tool and I'm going to click on this foot, and that patch right there. And now, if we go into here, we'll have multiple pieces here. So here's this weird body shape. See, that's the body when it's all cut out. I like to layer my stuff so it looks a little bit different. So I'm going to delete that layer. We don't need that one. That one's not for anything. There's this little flourish there. There's a foot. There's the foot. So we can name them. I'm just going to name them green top. And then we got his right foot. And it's his right foot, not left foot because we're looking at it. And left foot. I don't even know if Georgie's a guy or a girl, so it's their right foot and left foot. So there we go. So we got that and that. I'm going to make another copy of this outline. Unlock that one. I'm going to make a copy. This is green and feet. Copy of that one. And then I'm going to lock this one because we're probably going to destroy some more stuff here eventually. We'll call this mouth. And we'll make the mouth. We'll probably make that mouth and eyes because I don't think we really need multiple layers for these eyeballs. So I'm going to take my ellipse tool, hold down Control and Alt. Oops, excuse me. Hold down Alt and Shift. So it goes from the center. Alt and Shift goes from the center. You'll be able to put these little white spots in them. Seems like a pretty reasonable thing to put in there. We might not be able to make those out of construction paper because the laser holes, they can get lost, but we'll put them in with some white outer or something like that. All right, so we got that. Let's do George's mouth here. And we'll start off by just doing a simple beak. We're not going to do two pieces as of yet. You'll see how we'll shape build it with this mouth piece. That's going to come up here in a second. So there's his mouth, his eyeballs, and then we got to put this wiggly line through it. And there are different ways to put the squiggly line through it. I like to use pen tool for pretty much everything because it's fantastic. You can do all sorts of things with the pen tool. Here, I'll get this bend in here. Get a nice smooth transition with these handles, lining them up. And let me see if this transition point here is nice and lined up. See if we can bend this one a little bit. There we go. So now this piece right here, got his mouth here. I am going to, just for ease, I'm going to make a copy of the mouth. I'm going to lock this one. And now I am going to shape build this top part and this bottom part. And you can see that destroyed that little line that goes through his mouth. So that's why I made a copy of that. And so the only pieces I need are this piece and that piece. And I'm going to drag those two into this mouth piece right here. And then I'm going to take this copy and I'm just going to delete it. And I'll go into this mouth and see how I got it here. So I got his eyeballs. I got this bottom part of his mouth. I'll put that on the bottom. This top part of the mouth. Here's that line that goes through everything. I'm going to finish that off. We'll finish that off later. There's the whole mouth by itself. I really don't need that anymore. So I will probably delete that one. So like that. And we got our eyeballs and everything is looking pretty darn good right now. So our next step is going to be, I suppose we can put these stripes on right now, and then we'll have the details and we'll be done. Okay, we're going to make these lines right now. We're going to pretend nothing's there. So we are going to take this mouth and we're going to turn that off. We don't need to deal with any of that right now. We got all these things lined up and looking good. I am going to, we're going to need those. So we're going to draw some lines and then we'll shape build from there. So let's get some line work in here. It'd be nice if we had a layer to work on here. There's our layer. And here we go. So I'm just going to go, there's going to be a big arc here. I'm just imagining where they would cross in my mind if I were to bend things out. How things would cross and whatnot. So that looks good right there. And I'll do it again here. I could use the offset tool, but I really don't want to right now. Probably be the best idea, but I'm not going to do that right now in this video for these little lines. Now for other stuff, we will use the offset tool, but we're not using that right now. So I'm just imagining where these things are crossing. There we go. That one looks a little bit funky right there. I was kind of lined up, so I'm going to take this direct selection tool. I'm going to click on this, grab this one, bend it out, and pull that down a little bit. Hopefully that looks better. Let's see here. So we're going to need to put some lines in here in a little bit, but to shape build it. But for right now, we're just building what we see. And we're drawing them out. Now, if you were just drawing this, Georgie, you could definitely use like a marker or something like that, like you see on when Mariah Elizabeth makes these types of things on digital tablets and whatnot. But we're laser cutting these because they're going to be physical objects. So we got to have a spot for things to get cut. And for things to get cut, you got to have vectors. And we could draw them in and then expand and things like that. But right now we're just working on the pen tool. And it's kind of hard to just draw with a mouse. If I had a tablet with a pen, I might do it that way, but I don't. So no. So we're drawing all these lines in, and it's looking kind of crazy right now, but I promise you it's going to make sense when we get to the end. And we press like 5 buttons, and it'll just be magic. There we go. Let's see. Got this one down here. There we go there, and then this one down here like this. And this one here. The more I think about it, we just should have made like Cousin Dirk or Pickles the Dinosaur. They're a lot easier to make. And have all these crazy lines in them. But we've already shown some easy ones and how to make easy things, so we gotta make things a little bit more difficult so we can continue to learn. And this one right here goes here. That's a nice straight line. Finally, a straight line. This one is probably a nice straight line that goes from here down to there. All right, so there's all of our pineapple lines. Don't they look gorgeous? All right, so I'm gonna turn those off for right now. And then I'm gonna add in details. The details are anything that I'm just gonna draw with a marker. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this mouth one, and this part of the mouth, that's a detail. Whoops. We gotta turn this back on, I guess. That mouth and the detail. I'll turn that off again. And other little things in the detail. So this little arm thing, that's a detail. And the rest of his little smile, that's a detail. And these eyebrows, those are details. Those are going on with the marker. VP. That's a detail. And that line selected, then we'll do that there with the detail. These details just help me put the lines in the right spots after it's lasered on. And then sometimes I kind of scribble around here a little bit to get some lines in some other places. So maybe this spot, maybe it should be down here like this. There we go. Weird little belly button. We knew that a pineapple duck had a belly button. And this weird little thing. There we go. We also need to put in the details for our little headdress here. So we know where to put our lines. Normally when I do this, all these detailed lines are going to be black. But in this one, they're all sorts of different colors. I'll have to see how many different marker colors I have. Or they all might just end up being black. But I think we'll probably have different marker colors. See if we can crack into them. But on the picture, they're just going to be black because I'm not going to go that hardcore. I might, you never know. And the last thing, we got this one right here. There we go. There we go. We got our details in. Now I am going to, just like I did with everything else, make a copy of this one. And then I'm going to lock this detail layer because I want to use that one. I got the mouth. I don't need the mouth on right now. So I need all these other things because I'm going to shape build with it. So I'm going to turn these on here. And then if I do everything correct, we'll see how it goes. There's a lot of lines though. Gotta get, I got those. All right, so I should be able to take my shape builder. And if I want to remove lines, I have to hold down Alt to get that minus sign here. So there's a line that gets removed. Here's a line that gets removed. That's removed. So I'm going around and I'm trimming everything that I don't need. There's going to be a lot of weird stuff going on here, but I can just delete a bunch of stuff at the end. I'm only worried about these lines. Nothing else. Just these ones. I'm holding down Alt and I'm cutting this stuff off. Any place we do not need those lines, that's what I'm cutting off here. So these weird things, duck feet, we don't need those lines. We don't need these on the duck feet there, here, or here. All right, so now we need everything else. So I'm going to let go of Alt and I'm going to add this stuff. So I'm going to be adding all of these so they're all connected. Makes one continuous, wonderful shape here. Maybe I should have kept these lines through here, maybe, but whatever. I should have, I didn't. We'll fight through it. We'll be okay. And that's there. And this one is here. And this one is there. And now I got one big shape there and one little shape there, and we're good to go. And now we can see what kind of horrible mess we made here. All right. So detailed copies. There it looks like a whole bunch of stuff that just got destroyed. So we're good there. We can get rid of that. We'll delete that one. Remember, we have our detailed copy here, so we're good to go. We've got it if we need it. And I got a whole bunch of itty bitty little tiny lines that are all up here. Remember, the shape we're looking for is this big one. These two big shapes right here. That's what we're looking for. So I'm going to get rid of this later. And I'll turn the mouth back on. That's wonderful. Green and feet. That thing and that thing. No, we don't need that one. That no, we need outline copy. We got all sorts of fun stuff all over here. So that's that one. Need that one. We highlighted it. Hold down Shift. Highlight that one. So those are the only two we need. And everything else we don't need. I'm just going to start deleting as we go, because there's a lot of garbage in here. Garbage, you can see random little pieces all over the place. But I knew it was going to happen. That's why you can save some copies. So there's that piece. We need that one. We need that one. So these are the two we need. Those two. And everything else is garbage. All right, and these are the lines. And now we'll unlock all this stuff, and we'll see how we did here. All right, so we got to start doing things from the top up. Is what we're going to do. That's how we're going to color it. All right, here's the exciting conclusion. So all of our details, we're going to select this. Oh no, see, by mistake, I got rid of some of the details. That was disappointing. Need this one right here still. Need that one. I got rid of this one for some reason. I got rid of that one. I got rid of all sorts of things. I don't know what I was doing, but I did. So I should probably fix those. Now I got rid of all sorts of things in my rush to glory. So we can fix that stuff right now quick. A little disappointment, but those pieces were a little bit crazy to do, so I lost a few things when I should have been paying a little bit more attention. Whoa. Yep. Be putting the fault lines back in here. There we go. This one a little bit better. There we go. And weird little smiley face duck. I don't think I ever drew that one in there. Belly button duck. This one needs something drawn in it. And this one can go down here. And it kind of comes out the side here, so I'm going to move that one a little bit. There we go. There we go. Now it's back to normalish. Normalish, kind of normalish. So we have our details. Bump those up to 3. The mouth. Let's see here. The mouth. We have our mouth here. We'll get the correct colors put on here. And put the stroke back on here. And the feet are the same color as that mouth is. And the green top here. Put that stroke back on. 3. White eyeballs. Fill the white. And they have no stroke on them. Okay, so white eyeballs. And then these ones, they have a fill of black. And no stroke on them because they're just pieces of black. And you can see, look at something's wrong with those. Those got turned to black somehow. but they're not black anymore. Let's save them. And now we have that done. Now we have our lines. Our line colors are this color, and they do not have any stroke on them. And then we have our outline. And our outline is, whoops. Outline, put outline color there. And bump this back up to 3. And one thing I will do, so it doesn't look quite so weird, as you can see where these overlap here, but they don't have a stroke on it. If I take this outline and I make a copy of it, I'm going to put that copy on top of these lines. And then I turn the fill off. And there we go. It's magical. There's Georgie. And I suppose we could put a sticker outline around him here quick. So we'll go object, path, offset path, and looks like maybe 0.2. That was pretty good. And we'll hit OK. And that offset path is going to be a little off-white action there. And then we can turn this off and see how we did. I think we did a pretty decent job there. And pull this off to the side. There's bitmap Georgie versus vector Georgie. And we are good to go. Now we just need to physically make this duck.